Brenda, thank you so much for coming over today. We talked on the phone a couple of days ago. You had a very unusual and yet very important challenge that happened to you, and I want to explore that more with you and basically come up with a plan to do something about it. So share with everybody, what happened to you. So,
well, Scott, I appreciate you having me here and taking the time to make some changes and helping me get a resolution and bring a problem to light. I had a car accident back in 2018, and where someone that was insured through Allstate hit my car, flipped it upside down. My daughter and I went to the hospital. Was assured at the time of the accident that she had insurance. They reached out with an offer on the car, ended up having to go through my insurance company, but as far as to medical, no, nothing. I ended up having to go to court. They said they didn't ever have an opportunity to represent before the judge to go, hey, we want to represent our plaintiff, and said she was in violation of contract of their policy because she did not notify them of the accident.
So that's super confusing for all of us in Texas, right? Because we all drive around knowing that we're all required to have insurance for our automobiles, right? It's a liability insurance across the board, and so
that's what I'm.
Yeah, so we're all like, so what happened here? What does it mean not to represent them?
Well, there's a catch-22 in that because she did not give them permission, they are using a precedence of a law that says if they do not contact or tell you, pretty much you don't have to pay anything to the person that's injured, even though police report states that it's their fault. Mm-hmm. Every documentation states that it's their fault, but they're like, no, sorry. They did eventually, years later, offer me a $10,000 settlement.
Who was they, by the way?
Allstate.
Allstate, okay.
Did offer me a $10,000 settlement, which was an insult because that would mean that I had to pay out of pocket on a lot of things. I also had to use my personal insurance because I couldn't even file except for PIP under my insurance because she had insurance, so I can't file uninsured motorist with my insurance company. Mm-hmm. So. And the only thing I could use on mine was PIP. Mm-hmm. So that kind of made it to where I was, in lack of a better word, screwed on both ends.
Yeah, so I had to really think about this for a while because my brain always says, oh, they had insurance, you have an accident, that person reports it to their insurance company and everything settles. What happened in this case is that the person who was insured never reported it to their own insurance company, which seems strange because now they're going to get sued and they're personally liable and everything else. But nevertheless, there's a subset of our population, for whatever reason that we could all speculate on, would choose not to report that to their own insurance, and now their own insurance doesn't have to cover the policy.
Right. I'm not sure to 100% factual that she did not notify them because there were 3 people, I think, in her car, 3 or 4 people in her car, and I think all of them went to the hospital. So I'm not sure. I am sure that they were aware at some point, whether it be her or someone in the car. I know Allstate was notified personally by me, and I called and notified them, but they never reached out to their plaintiff. Okay. And we had to go to court and go before a judge to get a personal judgment against their insured because, and she hops from place to place, so there is no way. It took me 2.5 years to find her, to physically put a piece of paper in her hand thinking that she would do the right thing and call them. Didn't happen, and then that's when the $10,000 settlement came they were using the law of, no, we don't have to pay because she didn't give us an opportunity to represent, but yet they were notified by my attorney of the lawsuit. I notified them via email. You've seen some of the emails I sent them. And they're using it as a cop-out to not have to pay a dime. And on the $10,000 settlement, that would mean that I would have to negotiate all of the money of what they want me to release them for liability. Being the injured party, I'd have to turn around and get and be an injured party again verbally because I'd have to go and negotiate with the insurance companies and give the whole $10,000 away and end up with nothing for what I've paid out of pocket. And all future medical was going to be paid for me, that I'm going to have medical procedures for the rest of my life on my back.
So could this happen to anybody in
Oh,
Texas?
yes. In fact, I know that it's happened and it's becoming more prevalent. I've seen things on Facebook. I have seen, in fact, one of my friends it happened to. I've talked to people in the insurance industry, and when I explain what has happened to me, they're like, oh no, you're crazy. That can't be right. There's absolutely no way. I will tell them, hey, go check it out. Research it. It's a thing. Even my own insurance agent was not even aware this existed.
Yeah.
So now that it's out there, people are starting to abuse it.
I see. Yeah, so after you shared this with me, I also had the same feelings, like, this can't be true, no way. And I think I spent half a Saturday like researching this, and I'm like, oh my goodness, Texas has a very, very weird law. And I understand it helps an insurance company, right? How's an insurance company going to support somebody if they don't provide the information that basically is in their policy, right? So I kind of get that, but then I'm like, okay, is this a Texas deal or is this everywhere? So I started researching some more, and I realized many other states have solved this problem. It's basically they just add a few tweaks to the insurance policy that says if there's an insured that doesn't share their information, there's a way to go to court and basically have the judge reallocate the accountability of that insurance to basically the injured. And I think we need these laws in Texas because this loophole obviously has hurt you personally, and it's probably hurt many others throughout the state in the last, however many years this has been going on.
It does. And the sad part about it is I have insurance. What if someone didn't have insurance? And they can't get medical treatment. They can't get taken care of, even though the police report says it's their fault and the insured, they had insurance with a company, like for me with Allstate. That really affects, and it's becoming more prevalent of hundreds and thousands now. And it's growing and it's growing. So insurance companies are now using it as a loophole to get out of paying.
Great.
So either, they need to do something to where they can go to court and have a judge determine coverage, or, something along those lines. I mean, there's frivolous lawsuits out there for insured, and people, scamming to rear end someone or get hurt. But what protects the ones who really get hurt? And the insurance company doesn't want to pay, even though that person had paid for insurance for, I don't know how long. Could have been a month. It could have been 10 years. Never had a claim, and then all of a sudden they don't want to pay. It's a problem.
It's a huge problem. So I'm bringing this up. I'm hoping our time here will catch the attention of some watchdog reporters, and maybe they will bring this to light. I think the Texas legislature needs to take up this issue, and we need to protect folks such as yourself that are basically falling through the loopholes because of this tweak in the policy. Other states have solved it. We can solve it as well. What about yourself? Where are you in the process of solving it for you and your family?
I don't think as far as to Allstate, there's going to be a resolution. They are still standing with the stance of the law, the stance of she never notified us, we're not going to pay. I don't even know if the $10,000 offer is still there. I had sent them an email and a letter to their attorney requesting to go before a judge to determine and have a judge determine coverage. The only response I got back was, we've extended your $10,000 offer. When I talked with someone at Allstate, pretty much all they told me was, I understand we're putting you in a precarious situation on negotiating with the insurance companies at all and wanting me to release them, but the only other alternative would be to go to court and have a judge determine coverage. Well, so I asked for that to happen, and that has yet to happen.
Okay. Well, I'm here to support you. You're one of my constituents here in HD 98, and let's shine a bunch of light on this, and let's get some folks together to try to solve problems, not just for yourself, but let's come up with common sense solutions for the rest of the state.
And if you need additional information, I would be happy to provide it and to bring this to light of emails and communication with Allstate of showing that they don't care.
Okay. Well, good. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.